Hello guys, welcome to episode 23. This episode we're gonna take it smooth because I have not so good health this week. I'm smiling but inside I am in pain. So we're gonna look at parallax today. We're gonna just use it to see how cool it is and to show some things that we can do with it. How to build a scene around it, so we're gonna make a strange scene. Just to the purpose to show stuff that the kit can do, but also how to move away from the kit and go back into it in another scene, like it's like a mental gymnastic episode. So we'll see how to attach a spell effect. It's very easy. I just didn't show I did not add time to show it yet, but it's gonna take like 30 seconds. And also gonna show how to resize or replace or reskin the player altogether for that one special scene. So what is a special scene? It can even be a world map, instead of a traditional world map. It can be more like a Super Mario World type world map, where you move between stages and you choose the stage. You can do all sort of stuff like that by limiting player movement or whatever. So we'll not go too crazy in that, but we will go into what's on the other side of that door. We're gonna go into space. We're gonna try to put some parallax and to make Rem into a spaceship or something just for that one scene, and then we need to go back into Rem's reality, So this is gonna be the purpose of this episode. So I hope you enjoy it. So we're gonna start by putting a teleport on this side. Last time we had put the door that opens with the handle and stuff, but we had not put the teleport yet because we're not sure if we're gonna use it just yet or not. But it ends up that we will use it right now in this episode. So we'll spawn teleport the good old-fashioned way into the 2D RPG kit menu. We'll put it on the door. I want us to be able to come back. However, I want this to be a bit higher because I don't want people to to step in the teleport without going way past the door entrance, So as long as it's higher than the handle, this should be fine. So this teleport camera is adding a bit, but that's not bad. I just call it parallax, and it's gonna lead to a scene also named parallax. So this way I'm not gonna confuse myself. However, I'm gonna write both with minus p's just so that I can copy paste everywhere without thinking too much. So now we will have to create the new scene, right? So we'll go into our body, the template scene, and we will do save as right away so that it has the proper name. To the RPG kit, scenes, demo. Just gonna name it parallax. There you go. So you can see the visual confirmation on top. It says parallax. So it's all good. Now we don't want to start with a ground layer that covers completely the screen. I want to start by showing you the regular way to do this. It's pretty much the same way than the official to the RPG kit developer shows in his YouTube channel, which is to make like a sidewalk like this. I'm gonna put it on a ground layer 1. So this is gonna restrict the player movement to pretty much only the horizontal movement, because he's not even gonna be able to move up because there's not enough room. And now we have to put an image in the background for the parallax effect. You can paint if you want by simply selecting the background layer, but I think it's a cool way to put an image. So now I show you. If we execute as it is, it shows like some dark purple where there's nothing painted. So we cannot confirm that we have any kind of parallax going on, but we do see that the sidewalk works, but that the player is confined to it totally, cannot go up or anything. So now we're gonna take a picture to give an impression like we're in space. It's gonna be nice. So we're gonna go, well, you don't have to, but me, I like going on the official NASA, I think that's how it's pronounced in English, the National Aerospace or something Association. Nah, that's not even it. It's National Aerospace Agency something. I don't know, man. But you know, the thing in the USA where they have a lot of budget for space. So these guys, NASA, they share pictures, you know. Pictures are retouched, obviously, because there's a full spectrum of light and whatever. But at the end of the line, the base of those pictures are real pictures. So and they're free to use. I think we cannot like sell them or anything, but we can use them for fun. So I just consider this like a free asset, you know, like just take an image, and we'll come back to the spaceship after. So once you've chosen an image that you like to represent space, I mean, what better than an actual picture of the Earth, right? So I'm just gonna put it in a new folder. Gonna name it parallax. So I'm gonna put everything in there. Typo or not, doesn't matter. I know, I actually put 2 L's. That's good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. So now this is not a regular picture, you know. This is like a freaking 2048 pixels by something. So this is a big picture. We're not gonna confine it to a 16 pixel per unit or anything like that. We're just gonna remove the compression on it, and then we're gonna put it as a child object of the background layer. So this way it's pretty much like centered on the camera, right? As a background image. So yeah, like I said, this is a very big resolution picture. You know, this was not photographed with a Game Boy add-on camera. No, this is. I'm not sure which telescope exactly. I assume it's a close one, or maybe it's not even a telescope. Maybe it's just space station people when they're on a walk or something. Don't know. Maybe it's one of the thousands of satellites that just happen to have cameras. You would need to look the description of the picture on the NASA website. They say those sort of things when the picture was taken, how it was modified so the human can see the colors, whatever. So you see, we get some nice parallax effect here. Maybe we're a bit too low to my taste, but as of this moment, my French counterpart had not played around with parallax yet, so I think, can we just like move the background layer? But no, it's still, I don't think there's any visual difference when I press play in a few seconds. Really need to move the sidewalk instead, because it's the sidewalk that's gonna force the camera position on the player, you know, something like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna show a few different ways. This is one of the ways, but it's not the way we're gonna end up using. So this is the way without any transparency or anything. Like we just put like some solid sidewalk floor. Like okay, you could do something like you could put a wall with windows and be like, yo, I'm in the space station, look through the windows, and it would be pretty cool. But otherwise, we will do something else as the video continues. So now I'm gonna move the sidewalk way higher, because I really want Rem to feel like he's in an actual space station or something to that effect. So I place the new ground right there, and after I'm satisfied with that, we're gonna move to transparency. I'm gonna show how it would look like if you use a glass floor, if you use a metal grid or different stuff. But at the end of the day, since I already had in my head that I want I want this episode to cover not only parallax, but to also cover changing the player, like reskinning him for a special scene. You know, and a special scene can be a lot of things, but I think it's cool the way it turned out. That, you know, you can leave. We kind of skip the scene where he would get into the spaceship, you know, but I don't think that's important. I think just having the possibility to go like that in a spaceship, and basically you could go land on other worlds, you know. You could make the entire game in space if you want to. You could make this No Man's Sky 16-bit version, you know. It's the same principle. So now I took this free asset for the spaceship. It's a low quality, but it's fine because this is just to show how the thing works. It's not important, but it does not look bad. I just mean it's simple, but it's a good thing. It's so simple. I mean the face of the character in it, that it could be anyone. So yeah, it's Rem, and that's a good thing. Sometimes simplicity makes the pixel art so much usable. So thank you, Mr. Pixel Artist, for this very compatible spaceship. So here, however, we need to process it fully. So 16 pixel per unit, and then the brush size is gonna be 16 by 24. 24 because you need to include the fire. So then you slice it, and we're gonna be in business. We need to do all these things in order, because after that we're gonna create a new controller, animation, we're gonna reskin the animators, but not of the normal player. We don't want to ruin Rem and have him a spaceship all the time. We want to create a duplicate and configure a duplicate, but we can just use Rem 2 because he's up for grabs. We have not really used him aside from his sprite. We have not used him as a playable character, so we can use his skeleton, if you will, and reskin it, and that's what I'm gonna do. So now, before that though, I just want to show more possibilities. So now I'm gonna go into I think the overworld. Oh no, first I try with the metal grids. So I'm like, you know what? We can make the entire ground layer with a transparency effect, because I'm used at putting transparency on a sprite or something, but you can do it on a layer. A layer. So I tried it live in there, and it's like it works. That's great. It saves us a lot of trouble. Sorry if I'm a bit low energy in this video, but I got off surgery Monday morning, and I probably shouldn't be working, but you know me, it's harder than me. Even if I'm dying and it's 2:27 a.m., I continue to provide you guys with amazing guides. So we see the transparency effect now. The floor is so much nicer, but of course it makes no sense, because why would you have grids in space? You don't want air to leak. But you see the potential is there, that you can put glass, like the type of glass visual in Minecraft, that you could make this like, oh, you're in a in a space station, literally. Put windows and stuff. It's so cool. But for this video, we're gonna just never mind, and we're gonna go full space. So we're gonna need to make a ground layer all over, but we're gonna make it completely transparent. So this way we're gonna be able to move in a spaceship all over. So for now, I'm taking a bucket. I'm just testing one last time before painting the whole thing. So yeah, paint this on the ground layer, but now I selected the wrong one. I selected background layer. Oops. So now I'll go on the ground layer. So yeah, so this is like a poor man glass. I say poor man because it was a full pixel of the same color. If you want to make glass, you would take a color with like a little diagonal line that is more pale, and maybe a white square or two, to put the light reflection effect or whatever. But otherwise, the principle works. You can put the entire ground layer transparent. It makes me think like, oh my god, I have to do in Feline Realms some crazy rooms with multi-layering. Like, I had not considered all the possibilities that come with the transparent ground layer. So yeah, very soon, because this series is about to end. We'll run out of stuff to cover eventually soon, and I'll be back to Feline Realms before. Probably, I'm not sure yet if I will jump to Mega Man right away, or if I will implement as much as I've learned during this tutorial series into Feline Realms before moving on. I'm not sure yet. I don't want to give false hopes one way or another. We'll see. You know, the logic would say, dude, work on your own stuff. But I'm not necessarily the most logical man. I'm also very, very OCD. And I start something, I like to finish it. I started this tutorial series. I'm gonna finish it before returning to Final Realms. But we'll see if I jump to Mega Man straight away or if probably I'll do a bit of both. Probably. So, because I want some room to breathe, you know. Yeah. Sorry, because I'm sick and I need to get back in health. So now that I've put this, I'm just gonna delete the bullshit that I tried off screen. You know, making a particle blue. It would work, but it's not the best way. The best way is how we did it, by making the entire ground layer transparent. So now French Me is going on over the fact that we're gonna have to create a common event. Now, in the common event, we'll be able to assign a new player. So that's when we'll have to duplicate everything and assign the new sprites we had downloaded. So into the common event I just put there, you go into the player. There you see there's a change player size, new size, and there's also a replace player, player animator. And finally there's a next player member, next party member. So don't touch the next party member. That's only if you want to change for the battles. You know, in the battle where you see Rem, and sometimes you see Alice. Well, that's if you want to affect the screen. But right here in space, I'm not currently putting any battles. So we don't want to replace this. All we want to do is replace the player, and we're gonna put the new animator with the spaceship sprite. Also, we're gonna test the change the player size while we are at it. So yeah. So now we need a new animator, an animator that will have in it all the sprites of the battleship and not the sprites of Rem or Rem 2 or whatever what we duplicate, which will be Rem 2. It won't be long. I'm just waiting on synchronization. I think he's saying, oh yeah, since we have no legs, it's just a flame. And if you look at the sprites, they're all gonna end up with only like two sprites cycling. So it's gonna be very simple. It's gonna be very simple. But now I'm showing you what not to do. This is not where you change stuff. A lot of people do this mistake. Here is for the battle. Every time it says party member, you need to think battle. Well, mostly battle. So this is the one that we want, the actual player. So if you look below, it's like assets to the RPG kit, prefabs main. This is where you got player and you've got Rem 2. So player is the one that we know and love, and Rem 2 we use the sprite as as his lost twin, but really it's just the same character but with dark hair. So since we don't need to use Rem 2 in battle ever or in the world map ever, we're just gonna reskin him into the spaceship and it's gonna solve the problem. So now French Me is just looking over stuff. So he's looking like what is the work to be done. I see you need the static sprite that can be changed. We would change it if we wanted the appearance of this icon to change. But I'm not gonna bother with that. What we're gonna bother with is only the animator down below. If you look Rem 2 world, the controller, the controller is the little window which I'm trying to find a word in English, which manages what animation cycle. When you create an anim, it does a .anim file and you put the sprites in order and you just select the sample speed. Well, the animator controls all the .anim and say, oh, if you go up, show the animation going up and so on. So we need to create this, but for the spaceship. So not to break anything, I just duplicated Rem 2 and I renamed him RemSpace. However, you also need to change just a minute, waiting on synchronization again. Yeah, he's saying stuff that I already said about the directional movement and stuff. But yes, it's not gonna change in battle. If you wanted to put space battle, you would need to also create, also reskin the REM2 battle. But right now we're just gonna do the REM2 world. So you look as REM2 world controller. That's what I wanted. But so we want to open it. You know, the little animation window in the middle. But right now it says player idle down. Right now it's on the player. So you don't want to change this one. You want to change the REM2. So now, after some editing magic, I selected the REM2, and now you see the good one. You see animation, REM2, walk right. So, yeah, if you want to replace your REM2, you know, need to decide that. But me, I decided that in this project, I really don't need REM2. He's going to be the spaceship. So now we have to change all of those things. His animation, idle and walk, but they're going to be identical because don't have legs. It's a spaceship with a flame, so it's not going to be important. The idle or moving down is going to be the same principle. We're not going to create a sprite without a flame. So yeah, it's going to be easy. So gonna start. I just took the ones that look like very similar but a different flame. So in this case, I have to take the ship 2 and the ship 7. So now you look how it looks like. We see, oops, I missed a sprite. You really need to perfectly put it on top, otherwise it's not on top. It did not replace it. It just put it next to it. So after you really should zoom more than I do. So after that, I'm gonna look like, okay, no longer see REM, but you see that this is not a fluid animation. So okay, we're gonna add. We're gonna manually make it fluid. So now there I go. This is our little REM in space. This is wonderful. Now we need to do all the rest, but we'll start with idle up because it's gonna be the same. You could flip the Y to give the impression that you go down, but really it's not important. Just gonna put the same. This is fine. You'll see this is gonna be fine. So same thing here. We need to put the last one to make it look good. So now you have to do the down and up, which are walking, but like I said, they're gonna be identical. The reason why that there's multiple differences is usually REM stands still or he walks, you know, but now we're a spaceship. Doesn't matter. Unless we created a sprite without fire and a sprite with fire, then we would put the sprite without fire on idle and the sprite with fire on walk. But really, let's not get astrophysics crazy here, you know. We're already quite considerate. All right. Yeah, not much to say for me during this part. I'm sorry. Now I'm hungry because I sing about hamburgers. Yeah, I had to stop eating for like 3 whole days for the operation. So now I'm like eating, but not. I need to. My appetite is not quite back. My babies, all the absurd amount of medication they put intravenously in me. my appetite is just not there. So we're almost done. We just need to do the other left and then both the right. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Sorry about that. Just not gonna pause the audacity to take a sip. This is nonsense. I have nothing to say anyway because he's still doing sprites. But he's almost done. Then we'll move on. Sorry. So, only one last to do after, which is the walk right. Then we will be free. No more reskinning spaceships. This will be done forever. Forever. But yeah, I can't wait to see if you... Someday people will start posting, look what I've did, instead of doing in space I did that, or look what I did, instead of going in a cave I did that. And I can't wait to see what you guys did. So far people are very shy, or they do exactly what I do. I have not had surprises yet. So bring me surprises, bring me some joy, please. So now that we created we assigned the spaceship sprites onto the animator of Rem2 World, we can now do a common event and stuff, but I'll just start by putting the teleport too, because the start of the video was like creating the teleport, and now we are like 25 minutes after that and we still have not put the other side. So now it is time. Now that there's a ground layer all over the place, it's invisible and there's a parallax image, we will put a teleport. Now I'm just thinking, a big brain moment, do I want this teleport to lead out in space? Then I realize no, I want to link this to the inside of the puzzle room. So this is the teleport that will lead back into the room. So basically this teleport is to land back on Earth. So that's good. So we're gonna make it like the entire width. That's the craziest word. So much easier in French, that word. Largeur. No TDHTH bullshit. That is such a strange... that's a shenanigans. There's not many shenanigans in English, but that word is a shenaniganish. Never put a D, a T, and a H next to each other. What were they thinking? I should say thinking. Just the TH is such a dumb syllable. Like Thelma saw a LC thief through the bathtub in through the booth. Like, this is so British. I think this is ridiculous. So the word with what is that? Come on, guys. I know you're stuck with it as well. This is a stupid word. Stupid syllable. That was my pet peeve about the English language and your weird DTH. But some languages are so much worse. So yeah, I understand. Some are so much worse when it comes to like the Eastern Europe stuff. So they can have like a six non-vowels. Like, dude, how do you even pronounce that? So yeah, USA is not the worst. So yeah, I'm gonna chill on that. Indeed, USA is not the worst. English is not the worst. I mean, it's just very tough for me. So now we see that without a common event, the whole thing works. You know, we can switch into the space and stuff. But now we need to activate the change so that it will assign the spaceship onto this. Because, you know, now we look at the mechanic of the scene and it's like, yeah, fine, Rem in space. But now we want it to become all that it can be. You can do it. So I'm not gonna block game menu or anything, and like I said, you guys can put monsters if you want, but that's up to you to create an entire Rem Battle 2 and put all the spaceship sprites there. I don't need to do this. I think you've understood the principle. So now we're gonna click on replace player. So now if we do nothing, it's not gonna do anything. You need to manually drag the new animator that we've did in it. So now I'm saying, like, basically, you could add in the sky planets and stars and shit and stuff, and you can just walk over it. There's an NPC. Do you want to land on this planet? Yes, no, you know? You can turn this... just this episode can make No Man's Sky. You can basically make this game like you live in the demo, you know, in your city, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's go to space. You go mine asteroids. You go on other planets. The other worlds can literally be reskin tile palettes. You know, you mess with the RGB stuff, and you can make a green planet, a red planet. You can make a lot of stuff with very low effort. You can turn this 2D RPG kit into a 2D No Man's Sky. I'm just naming that as an example. I could have said, Starfield. I could have said basically probably a dozen other games. I'm just using a name that I think was one of the first to really try to sell us that concept of infinite world. Then they failed pretty hard, but then they made up for it. But whatever. I guess you would have to cite more stuff like Eve or whatever. But let's not get crazy. This is an RPG. We don't make a space sim or a factory sim. So now we are gonna just do something. Oh yeah, we have to test from this side now. I put replace the player size at 1.5. I realize now that this is a bad thing because 1.5 is a float, and or because you cannot do fractions on a sprite. I don't know, but look what happens. Bam. It's like and just removing the resize player to 1.5 will fix this. So I'm just guessing here that you cannot do 1.5. It has to be integer. It has to be like 1, 2, 3. I don't think you can do decimals. I would need to test this, but otherwise 1.5 it's broken, then you remove it. Oh, it works. So I assume after the fact that it's because it was 1.5. Maybe I should have put 2 and it would have worked. Otherwise it works in feline realms, the rescaling the player, so there's no problem. It's just this particular sprite in 1.5 turns black, and like yeah, so maybe try 2 on your side. If it's still black on 2, well, nah, just forget it. Forget the resize and send a bug message to the developer. But me, I think it's my fault. I think it's because I put 1.5, and I think that's the problem. And now I'm like, why is it not like changing in real time? I'm doing this in real time, but I'm not seeing a change in real time. I'm a bit confused, so I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Let's just stop this, go into the proper scene, and we'll take this slowly, but in the we'll take it easily. I mean, the answer is very easy. I'm just gonna turn off the resize, and the problem will go away. You know, sometimes when you create a problem, you don't want to waste time to make your problem work. You just want to, you know what? Let's move on. 1.5 is not working out. Maybe 2 would have worked, but look, you just put it, you just remove it, and problem is gone. So this stays a 40-something minute episode instead of a 1-hour episode. You're welcome. So now we see in all its glory the spaceship with the flame sprite that moves even when he doesn't. But it's because we don't want him to lose his orbit. So you could stretch that image infinitely, make it go all the way to the sun, to Saturn, to Jupiter. You can make an entire game in space and make the game about you need to change planet, the Earth is breaking, and you need to go on Venus to take an ingredient. Then you need to go on Mars to take another ingredient. And then you need to go to see the people on your anus. The planet, I mean. And then whatever you need, my man. I'm gonna make Feline Realms so great after this tutorial. I've learned so much by teaching you guys and forcing me to explore all the little options that I was too overwhelmed to try at first. Teaching really makes you understand something better. It's crazy. I really suggest you guys try to teach. It could be teach your son, could be teach your brother, I don't know, teach your wife. Just try or teach an imaginary person. I think it will have the same effect. Just trying to explain something forces you to understand it in a way that's digestible, whatever. Okay, it's just good. So now we're gonna add the magic effect. I had put it in the cavern to make the rock blow, but I kinda never took time to show you guys. I made an episode once, but I scrapped that episode, and it was in that episode that I scrapped that I showed it. So now I have no intention to bring back that episode because honestly, it was not that great of an idea of an episode, and this one is better anyway. So now I'm integrating into this video the visual effect upon destroying something. So now I look, the tile sheet from the cavern. I had made I had imported a second one to slice it differently, just to use rocks as objects. Well, it happened that this tile map has a rock that very much looks like an asteroid. Aside from the shadow under it, of course, because the shadow would not be like this. The shadow would be cast well on the earth, and it would just disappear from diminishing return of the light, to human eye at least. But aside from that shadow that you can trim anyway, it very much looks like an asteroid. So we're gonna put a collider on it, and we're gonna put it is trigger. But that's if you not have to. You can not make it as trigger, and it will be solid, so you can have like a asteroid as something that you want to dodge or something like that. But me, I'm gonna just put an NPC on top, and if you speak to the NPC, it's gonna say, do you want to mine this asteroid, yes or no? And it's gonna blow it up, and you'll get the minerals in your inventory, So this is what I meant by you can do space farming, then go back on Earth. You can have a quest that's like go find a very rare element from the early solar system creation, or whatever. You go find that secret meteorite that come from another solar system and bring back an element to our table. Nah, there's not supposed to be new elements in other solar systems. It's the same periodic table of elements all through the visible universe. Let's emphasize on the word visible. We have no clue. Well, we're starting to have clues. So keep the good work at the CERN, and the good work with the James Webb and stuff. We love the advances in quantum physics and astrophysics very much. It's just very important. It trickles down to everything. Sadly, it also trickles down on rocket science. That's the sad part. But you know what? Maniacs will always create weapons. Doesn't matter if you use rockets to go in space. They would have created rockets in a way to shoot at them, at their neighbors, because a lot of humans are psychopaths, and a lot of them are celebrated to be psychopaths and are even funded by our governments. I very hate society. I'm disgusted by it, and one day I might just speak about it. But for now, let's do video games. So, I'm gonna put a dialogue choice on the NPC. Very simple one. You want to destroy it? Yes or no? Very simple choice. The spell effects we're gonna take. I'm gonna just recycle the one we did with the new fireball with the free asset. I'm just looking at the effects folder, the one that's next to enemies. Just so many folders. Yeah, there it is. So the real fire. Surprisingly, you can just drag and drop it. Like, yeah, that's simple. You just place it there. But now I'm going like, but I need to show you guys. So I just put it there. I push play button, and you see the animation. So we're just gonna put it there, but it's not gonna be playing like forever like that. We're gonna deactivate it, and it's the dialogue choice that's gonna proc it to start. So it's a very simple stuff. We'll even add a sound effect to it, even though there's not supposed to be any sound in space, because the sound moves through air. There's no air. So there is no sound in space. They just put sound on TV because otherwise the movie would be boring. But there is no sound. There would be vibration and stuff, I guess. Even there. Waves, yeah. There would be nothing physically tangible to a human, no. Just nothingness. So the logic is quite simple. It's like it's why I deactivated the visual effect. So we'll add the sound later. French me is just going over some slight details first. Like we need to create a dialogue, and I'm like, why is this 3? Oops. Then I'm gonna put it back to 2. Simple mistake. So we just want yes, no. Well, you can do what you want, but I just want yes, no. So now I just go over the logic, like, yeah, activate the new fire, force it to activate, but the NPC and the sprite of the meteorite, asteroid, whatever, you deactivate it though. I know it's not a comet because it's not made of ice, but I'm not 100% sure if it's a meteorite or an asteroid. I think it would have to be an asteroid, but an asteroid comes from far away and it goes to the Earth's gravity well, while this is like in orbit. So I think this is more like just a rock, you know, like the belt, asteroid belt. Well, it's called asteroid belt. So there I go, it's an asteroid. I'm just gonna call it an asteroid. If I'm wrong, it's life. I'll learn from it, but I think this is an asteroid. So, portrait. We're not gonna make a portrait for the asteroid. I think we wasted enough time making dumb portraits in the past. I don't know what was my problem. I named it Apophis, which is a good, cool name. It's like a god of destruction or whatever in ancient Egypt. But it's the name of a real asteroid that was thought maybe will strike Earth in 2020 something. But nah, it's not gonna strike Earth at all. We're gonna be fine. But yeah, so gonna name it Apophis just for fun. Can thank Neil deGrasse Tyson for this one. I always watch Star Talk. I think it's fascinating. Well, not that much Star Talk, no, but Cosmos. The Carl Sagan one is the best. Well, the best. A lot of nostalgia. I just love Carl so much. It's like the father I wish I had. So, now we're gonna go. But we don't go through the dialogue start and stuff. We're just gonna go like, you know what? Let's give you an item. But I'm not gonna waste time, you know, duplicating a key item, renaming it Mithril or whatever, and adding it in the list of item and finding him a skin. No, let's not care. The point of this episode is for you to understand how it works. Let's not waste anyone's time anymore. So I'm just gonna put like capable apple, like, oh my god, the space apple. This is the apple. It's blue. So. Just imagine this is like iron or something, whatever is mostly in asteroids. It's mostly iron, right? Something like that. But whatever. It can be whatever you want. It can be a magic element 69. So now we're gonna put a sound on top, because why not? We've gone that far, but like I said, there's not supposed to be sound in space. Or rather, yes, the sound exists, but the waves will not propagate. They have no air to shake. They have no air to move. It's not like light. Light does not need a medium. There's no such thing as ether. And but sound does need a medium. Sound is a wave. But well, light is a wave as well. I'm not gonna try to do science in English. This is very hard. In French, I would probably get the right words, but in English, I would just end up saying the wrong words in the wrong order. So just go listen to Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson from the source. Just watch Star Talk on YouTube or watch the Cosmos series. So whatever. So back to our business. We're just going over the logic, you know. It's all fine this way. It's gonna activate the fire. It's gonna activate the sound effect. It's gonna deactivate the meteorite asteroid sprite, and it's gonna despawn the NPC. It's all gonna be fine. And also, yeah. You can now this is only one zone, but you can add as many zones as you want. You can make this map go all the way to Saturn if you want. You can make this go all the way to the end of the universe. You can go on every single planet by putting NPC. Do you want to go there? Yes. Teleport leads to that planet, and so on. You can basically turn this game into the 2D version of No Man's Sky or something. I hope you guys understand the gift of creativity that I tried to give you here. You can basically do everything. You just need to understand what I've done here. You can switch. You can literally leave the planet and go on other planets. You know, you are not limited to a guy with a sword. do you guys understand the freedom I just gave you? You can take do the RPG kit and you can make anything at all. So I hope that I'm getting through to some people that will understand how powerful imagination, unity, and know-how is. This is very important. The only thing lacking after that is your graphic and your narrative. I cannot teach you graphics. I can teach you narrative. So this was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope that you understand what I'm trying to show you here. So see you guys next time in episode 24. This is amazing. So thank you all for watching. I love you all, and see you next time. So hi everyone, thank you very much for staying until the end of the video. I like to take this time to ask you to please go on Steam and wishlist my game. Also, you can go on Twitch to see me doing some live development occasionally. If you're a super chat or super chatted, you can do additional support on Patreon. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Those are really what I'm looking after, because I need to reach 500 subscribers to even be able to get some sort of income from YouTube. Until then, I'm doing this all for free. So thank you for subscribing very much.